It is freezing cold and the middle of winter. Many of us have no trades left, but never fear. 8 more trades will be landing in your inbox soon. NRL Fantasy tops them up, so you got a chance. You got a chance, right? All these injuries, but 8 more trades, it should be enough to get us through. Onto a positive note here, let's talk about round 19. Top scorers for this week, NRL Fantasy. Some of the guys you might be looking at buying next week, as long as they're not on the buy, like some of these Dragons and Sharks players are. Now, first one here, Lehi Hopewadi. This was a shock to many. Lehi named on the wing this week outside of Turbo. Look, it's no surprise that Turbo loves to feed his wingers, and Hopewadi was a massive beneficiary in this game. He had 7 tackle busts, 269 run meters, 2 tries. They weren't all easy run meters either. There's a lot of tough run meters in amongst that. But Hopewadi, he was just absolutely on fire in this game. So 81 points, top scorer of the week. Not a massive top score, but for him, a huge score, 383K. If you're on him, you're very happy. If you're not on him, I wouldn't overreact. I would probably let this one go by. But he does look like an awesome young player, so keep an eye on him. Next up, Ronaldo Malalo. So the winger trend continues. Malalo had more big attacking plays in his game compared to Hopewadi. So 3 tries, 4 line breaks is absolutely insane for him. He was fed a ton of quality ball, and they really just couldn't handle him at the West Tigers. So, yeah, look, he carved up Tigers in this game. 199 meters run. Look, 421K again. So people are looking at Malalo as a bit of a cheapy option. A lot of people I know did get Malalo in this week. I wouldn't overreact now and go and buy him. I think without Nico Hines, as much as it was a great game, this one, in general, I think the quality of ball that Malalo will get won't be amazing compared to the peaks that he's seen in the past. So I would never react here, but the 78 points here is fantastic. And if you have him in a draft league or if he's available on the waivers in a draft league, that's where I'd be paying a lot of attention to Malalo. Third guy here, Britton Nakora. And this is actually the second of 3 Tigers who are going to appear in this list. For Nakora, it was more of a regular game, right? So he had the try, he had a try assist, he had a line break assist as well. There's plenty of attacking stats there, padding things out. He had the 33 tackles. He also had 2 forced turnovers, so 2 hits where he put shots on and forced guys to drop the ball, which was awesome to see. So basically, it was an all-round performance, right, in terms of regular attacking stats there, some big defensive plays. 73 points without doing anything completely crazy. Again, a bit of a reflection of the Tigers and their edge defense. They were really letting a lot of points through on the Cronulla side of the ball. And that was reflected by Braden Trindle coming in as well. So he stepped in for Hines. He put up a Hines-like score here. 73 points. Look, it's a tough one to overread into, right? So 73 is a great fantasy score, but you've got the try. You've got 3 try assists as well in this game. Is he going to hit those numbers every week? Absolutely not. Those are not sustainable numbers. 9 goals in particular, that's 18 fantasy points on its own. These numbers aren't going to be sustained. They're not going to score 50 points every week. So for these Cronulla players, I would temper expectations. A lot of their appeal was for round 19. But I will say Trindle, he does average 50 when Hines isn't playing and when he's playing by himself. So when you look at Trindle as an option, he still is underpriced. He's still priced in the 30s. So he's definitely an option you can look at if you do need a cut price guy who maybe isn't quite at keeper level, but is at a strong level where you could play him in your 17 and not be too upset about it. And number 5 here, Christian Tuipulotu. Look, this guy hasn't been on this list for a while, so he's been producing some lower fantasy scores, not really getting the opportunities in recent times. But in this game, he got a chance to really show out, and he was dominating the Broncos in that game. It just looked like he had spiders on him. No one could tackle Tuipulotu. He had some great try celebrations as well. I want to call that out too. That was really awesome to see. So for him, 3 tries, 3 line breaks, 10 tackle busts. Look, he could have had more tackle busts, right? Like he was bumping off guys left, right, and center. For him, 312K is an insanely cheap price. I'm not going to go and buy him right now. I don't think the Dragons are going to feed consistent ball to this wing. But at the same time, it was a great sign for him, great sign for his career. He's obviously a younger guy, so good to see him stepping up in this game. But I wouldn't read too much into it from a fantasy perspective. Dragons also do have a buy in round 20, so keep that in mind. He will not be playing this week. And then some notable mentions here too. So Chris Randall, 68 points, looks to have locked down that lock spot at the Titans, which, hey, look, 50 tackles. I think it was 1 miss amongst 50 tackles, which is absolutely crazy for him. We've got Jaden Sewer with 67 points. Yeah, he put on a show. He was tearing up. So the Broncos had no answer to Jaden Sewer. He sort of showed why he should be in or around the Origin side too. Like I would have been picking him in Origin, but hey, I'm not Billy Slater, and there's a reason Slater's got that job and I don't. Then Jaden Campbell, 67 points, 3 try assists in that game, just dominated Parramatta all night. Look, he's a 5'8" who doesn't really kick the ball too much. That's the thing to keep in mind. So he had a lot of attacking stats in this game, produced 67 points. There are going to be quiet games as well. That's the thing to keep in mind. He will have those quiet games too. So just be ready for those for your fantasy team. Then Alex Johnson, 66 points. Look, when Johnson gets going, he scores some tries. The fantasy points come flowing. Do I expect this to continue long term? I don't think that he's going to be a massive scorer when Latrell's out, but this was a great score for him regardless. And then Katoni Staggs. So in a game where the Broncos lost, I think it was their 6th game in a row, which is really rough for them. It's good to see Katoni coming out and having a big game in this one. Look, he got himself sin binned at one point in this game, and the score was looking really low, but then he scored that try. He had some other big attacking plays too. So for Katoni Staggs, look, if he had this sort of ball every week, this is the kind of performance he could put on every week. The issue is that the ball doesn't always go to him at the Broncos. They've got so many other options. So his scoring in fantasy isn't super consistent. Again, I wouldn't overread into this one. Anyway, they are the top scorers for round 19. To be completely transparent, I think this marks the end of an era. So we're looking at a period. We're looking at the bye period, right, where State of Origin's going. Got the last State of Origin coming up. That period is one where you can get those mid-range guys and those mid-price guys. But now we're moving out of that. We want to be targeting those top guys instead. So I would ignore most of this list. I'd be targeting players like James Tedesco, like Nathan Cleary, Isaiah Yeo, Payne Haas, Dave Fafita, these types of players, regardless of the scores, because they're going to be the ones that are going to carry you on the run home. And we do have 8 weeks left, right? So get all those extra trades, focus on those big guns. We'll be coming back with some rankings on those positions too. So anyway, guys, hopefully you had a few of these players, but don't be overreacting is my key bit of advice. Best of luck this week. I'll see you guys on the next video.